fucking free ad out of me.
It's alright, you said last week you didn't even want to drink Fanta. Seamless. What is he drinking?
It's not fucking Fanta anyway. Dilly.
Do you feel
Rarely.
obliged to consider your outfit choices now that we're filming it?
Yeah.
Me too, but I keep
ironed-
forgetting.
I ironed clothes last week.
I'm hyper aware that I've worn this jacket a lot since we
That's
started
okay.
filming it. But I don't want to bow to the pressures of fast fashion.
That's my excuse as well.
Yeah.
I was actually, well, hilariously was saying to Margaret the other day, and she's like, "Yes, I know you've said this already," as will probably come as no surprise to most people. I often remember things that were already ideas I had and present them as new ideas.
You said to me in between recording here that we should start a podcast.
You had me. Sorry, I just realised how absolutely filthy my glasses were. That's better. Is that what you look like? Nailed it. But yes, I was going through my wardrobe and stuff the other day. I was just like, I need to throw all this away. Like, I don't wear any of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny. Like, all my favorite shirts are like jeans, denim-y looking shirts, and like
It's a classic look.
but I can't wear any of them with blue jeans.
That's true. You have to wear them with
What am I,
black.
Canadian? So I was just thinking, like, I'm just gonna throw away like all my blue jeans and just buy, because anytime I'm looking for jeans, I just want black jeans, but I can never find them.
I have the same inclination where I'll just go, there's too much shit here and I'll fuck it all in a bag, give it away, and then I'll leave. But I go too hard and then I leave myself.
Just underpants. I've done it again.
That's why I'm always wearing Orla's clothes.
Yeah, I was like, just black jeans, just the fucking £4 slim fit Primark black t-shirt, and then just a variety of, I might keep 10 shirts just to change it up a bit, you know. Yeah, because I don't care, and that seems like the safest. Like, I can't fuck that up. Bit of colour in the shirt, maybe a cardigan.
Do you not find any joy in the expression of it though?
I don't feel like I'm expressing myself.
But like,
with
do you
clothes.
feel like you could if you...
I would like to, but I feel like I'm not like too far gone. Just like,
I'm hopeless. Like,
but just like, I mean, we talked about this before, but like, you know, like if I was to decide to have like
yeah, a style now.
a style now, like you'd have to. I think we talked about this on the phones. Maybe it is okay to talk about it again, but like, yeah, I can't just turn up with like a mesh shirt.
Yeah,
where you can see my nipples.
Travis.
Yeah, Travis. We were thinking of Travis. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's closed. It's Travis. We're always going to go there.
It's been a while. It's okay, but you know what I mean. Like I feel like I can't fucking just turn up like I've had a stylist or something all of a sudden. You know?
Gotta phase it in.
Yeah, you gotta like be like, oh, those socks are kind of quirky.
I've been saying to Orla that I want to get my ear pierced again, and for a year she was like, for a year she was just like kind of slagging me about that, because when I met Orla I had an earring in, and she just says it just wasn't sure if it was quite me or not, was as diplomatically as I can put it, but now she's kind of called my bluff. She's like, go for it, get the earring. I think you should do it, because
the rebellion that inspired you to probably get one in the first place was probably half the joy of having it in the first place.
I don't think it was particularly a rebellious act. I was 24. I was just...
Really?
Yeah. My housemate was... I went with my housemate. She was getting it done. And I was like, fuck it, why not? I'll do it as well.
Which ear did you get done?
This one here, it was quite dashing. I thought it was a nice wee silver stud. But
Amazing.
like myself...
I could see... Isn't it funny how like one earring is okay? Like a wee stud, but if you had two,
I would go for two. I'd be happy to wear two.
yeah, it looks weird.
I've seen Bruce Springsteen do it, and that's good enough for me.
Fucker's never worked a day in his life. What's he even on about?
Phony.
Phony.
It's like Philly and his Chill Debates show. I'm like, I'm not donating to your Patreon. You're the most stressed man I know.
The fuck would you
You're
know
a
about?
phony.
What do you know about relaxation? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I feel like all that is cool about me, if anything is, and that is even highly contested, but it's going to be my music or this. I don't know. But if I'm to be judged by the things I do, I imagine those are the two best things I do, and so I feel more comfortable like not thinking about it. So if I can streamline it to like that's a pretty safe look, I'll just keep it like that, like a cartoon character, and just
I went through a phase of that myself. I remember saying to her, I was like, I'm going to throw all my clothes out, right? I'm going to get 7 pairs of black jeans.
Yeah.
7 white t-shirts.
One for every day of the week.
Yeah, that was my thinking. No, if I could get it down to 7 pairs of togs.
He'll have a spreadsheet and all.
7 pairs of togs, 7 pairs of socks, nice denim jacket, that'll be me, that's grand. Heavier coat for the winter, maybe a hoodie, laughing, 1 plate, 1 set of forks and knives, 1 cup.
Oh, this now as well is high on the list of priorities now.
I lived with 4 other lads when I was in uni, 4 other Oma lads, and I pitched that as a solution to the dishes problem. I was like, how about we all have 1 plate each, 1 cup, 1 fork and knife? And the response was, we're not in fucking prison.
Funny, I suggested this to my old housemate and friend Chris whenever we were living together, and his response was like, or you could just clean the dishes. Because I mean, it was generally my fault that there was any dishes.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't we just streamline, man, and just go like, I thought like, this has been my pitch to Margaret in the last week, and we've agreed, thankfully, in this house that will be the way to go. But like, we're just going down to what you've said, like
streamline. You're doing it.
4 plates, 4 bowls, 4 cups, 4 glasses, 4 forks, 4 all of the things that will be in your cupboard. And also like, do we need 2 spiralizers?
What's a spiralizer?
You know those obnoxious. It's like essentially the epitome of a JML purchase.
What's JML?
You know those ads for like new products. They used to be like relegated to like the telly shopping. Like after like 2 a.m. when the channel was over, it would just be like this guy.
Are you high on cocaine? You're gonna love this. It's a spiralizer. I don't know what the fuck it is, but we got 2 of them, and they're going for a low price of fucking 10 quid.
It's
Who's that line Indian? Get on the phone.
It's normally some cunt named Barry, and he's got like a mandolin for chopping veg real thin.
Barry.
or else like it'll be like a mop that cleans the cleanest floor you've ever seen.
A mop that cleans your mop for cleaning the floor.
Yeah, something like that. yeah. You love that one, Barry. I think it's the epitome of one of those purchases where it's like there's an ad, and Margaret, like a moth to a flame, was like, that will solve our problems we've been having, where we've been finding it difficult to turn courgettes into strings. You know that problem we always encounter on a regular basis?
It's tearing us apart, Nathan. And it's tearing us apart.
You know the way
I'm trying to make courgette.
You know the way that we've always been thinking, this is about 20% of our problems, so it should take up 20% of our kitchen.
And we need to get another one in case that one breaks.
So we have 2 of these. Now, to be fair, one was given to me as a present. And I feel like as a present, it's like
pushing it.
No, not even. I think it's actually like I can accept it more as a present. And hear me out, right? Because what it said to me as a present was, you like cooking. Here's a kind of a thing that I saw that I thought you might get a kick out of, and is a bit cool. But as a purchase of your own, you have had to decide, this is like I believe most purchases, and definitely the ones that I make, really are nearly exclusively solutions to problems. Do you know what I mean? And so that would mean that I would have had to have been standing in probably TK Maxx is where you would find this. And there'd only be one of them and the box would be open. But
in amongst a load of shoes.
yeah, and wallets. And an opened packet of Calvin Klein boxers. But have these been tried on?
The elastic's gone on them.
Fucking threads are coming out now. But yeah, I would have to be standing in front of it and being like, I need that. And I feel like that is a type of a purchase I would never make. Because it's not a problem I have. You know, like we don't make a lot of courgette.
Do you ever make like aspirational purchases? Go, if I get this, I will use it.
Yeah, I would say so. Like vitamins.
Absolutely. So I used to go into Tesco. I used to get like, so I am stuck in this cycle, right, of being good to myself, being too good to myself, deciding I need more discipline, and then going, right, the next payday, I'm going to get everything that I need to live right.
Yeah.
And I go into the fucking vitamin aisles and don't even look at what I'm getting.
I'll be at the same corner.
I don't even look what I'm getting in the vitamin aisles, and I just fucking scoop them all into the trolley. And I'll have one, I don't know what they are, I'll have one of them every morning, and I'll be fucking invincible. Watch the fucking tunes just fly out of me.
Watching sticking on a fucking exercise YouTube channel, but eating your breakfast,
eating your courgette.
It's all going in there though. It's all about the mindset.
I'm gonna learn it all off by heart, and when I go to do it, it's gonna fucking just the progress is gonna be phenomenal.
Has anyone got my Eric Prydz playlist? But yeah, so yeah, that just it just doesn't. Vitamins. Like I'm exactly the same.
It's funny you said that. I have the exact same.
We have like so many, and like, do you know what I did actually, which did get me, and maybe you could try this because I feel like it felt akin to like just go to the gym once and then you're already over the door, and then it'll be easier to go the next time. This feels like the same thing for vitamins, right? I was lucky because I wouldn't have known what to search for on Amazon if I'd intentionally sought these out. But Margaret bought like a load of what I think are called bento boxes, which are for like meal prep, and so like they have like little there's like compartments in the thing.
So it's like fancy Tupperware.
Essentially,
it's another.
We do use now all our storagey things.
That's another vice of mine. Every time I'm in anywhere, B&M or Tesco, I fucking go down the kitchen aisle and I'm like, fuck.
Look at all that storage.
Look at all that Tupperware. I could really fucking organise our cupboard with that Tupperware.
We could see the pasta, but standing straight up.
We can put our Rice Krispies in this. It's huge. It's the size of a Rice Krispie box.
Doesn't fit into any slots in the shelf, so now it lives on the counter. Yeah. So when she bought them, though, they each also came with their own like individual, pretty flimsy little flip top like sauce pot. Mm-hmm. That you could like, pop your ketchup
Euro-y sauce pot.
Euro-y, you dirty wee sauce pot. But, your fucking ketchup or whatever fucking into one of those, or your salsa or your sour cream, whatever tickles your fancy. Probably blended grass. But or whatever you call mayonnaise these days. But, and so there was, I think it came like of a pack of fucking 30 or something. So there was like 30 of these little things knocking about. It's only 7 days in the week, you could wash them. But we were like getting really into like it was at the start of the pandemic actually. It was like whenever and to be fair, we both began a fitness kick. Margaret stayed on it more so than I did, to be fair to her. But anyway, ended up with a load of these, and then I like sat and just fucking went through like all the. So like there was like a multivitamin that was like, oh, this is kind of covering a lot of the other stuff, and then was like, oh well, this says take 2 magnesium, but there's already a bit in that one, so I'm gonna only need to take 1 of these. And so I like made a note on the top of all the caps of the bottles how much I actually need, and then put them all into these little pots and I portioned them out for every day. I portioned them out for every
needs her.
I portioned them out. It had like a little Monday, like day, night, little flip tops and all. But I had them all like, so I had done like a month's worth, and like I took them for at least 10 days, and there are now loads of pots in next to all the cups in my cupboard, which I now have less space for. And all I would need to do to remedy the problem is take my vitamins.
But
I will fucking, you'll not make me healthy. No. But my dad will get really wound up of me saying this. But like my dad, I think doesn't like think we need vitamins. And like I can't.
Is he of the generation that also?
I think he just
doesn't
thinks,
like vegetables.
No. But that's not like a fussy eater. And like, I think. I don't know.
My dad's the type of man who doesn't think you need as much water. You know, I've never seen my dad drink water in his life.
Margaret's folks are the same, actually.
Milk or tea, and that's it.
Same, yeah.
It's the only two things I've ever seen my dad drink.
It stresses me out to think like that. There's no water going in. I guess there's water in milk somewhere.
And tea is
a lot
water
of water
with the tea bag in it.
Yeah. But is it? But
as far as my understanding of the process goes,
may have to Google it now. Sure, the phones are recording anyway. But yeah, like so, like my dad, I took a bunch down home one time, just in one of those things, just for a few days, enough whenever I was like in the habit of taking them. I remember my dad just being like, "You don't really need those," like, and I was just like, "Nah, I think you should," like, and then it was kind of, I was like, "Does he think I'm taking drugs or something? Like, these are just vitamin D, like it's gonna be okay." But I don't know. It's tough because he has the argument of like, well, you know, people for decades of not knowing nothing about vitamins and we're fine.
Getting their fucking,
they were getting it from their food.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think that's his argument. He's like, you should just try get it from your food. But it's so hard. Like, there's nothing in any of our vegetables anymore.
My granda used to pour grease over his spuds, which blows my mind. Like,
just from like the bottom of a pan of whatever.
Like in a gravy boat, but full of grease instead of a grease boat.
Where do you get grease?
From
like the roast or something?
Yeah.
I thought I meant like Bisto fucking grease granules.
Holy fuck, you just came up with something brilliant.
Delete it. But yeah, it is like, I don't know, it's like it just doesn't, I imagine 40 years ago when he was a kid or something, like there was probably more nutrition in vegetables and stuff, but like they've been sprayed to oblivion now. There's fucking, it's just a husk of an orange
wrapped in plastic.
It's essentially just like a representation of what an orange used to look like now. It's not really an orange anymore. So I don't know, I just feel like I'm not getting.
I get it, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Like, still you refuse to take the vitamins?
Huh?
Still you refuse to take
the... Not because it's just, I can't.
You're like me. It's just the routine and getting into the routine.
Yeah,
is more.
I'm like 3 weeks off the fags now, and like, or whatever it's been. I think it's been 3 weeks now, and now and like, I find it remarkable, especially over like the pandemic and the lockdowns and all that kind of stuff, where I had so much free time, like how successfully I avoided just doing things that would be good for me. Let's just take it like strictly like physical, from a physical health point of view, right? Or even mental health point of view. Like, there's things that like I've wanted to do for years, you know, like yoga. I would like to be regularly doing yoga because
I did 3 days of yoga.
You fucking...
At the start of the year, me and Adriana.
Yeah. Orla put me on to her. Remember that podcast actually? And so she,
after 3 days.
Yeah, cool dog.
Yeah.
But
you're too hot.
But
you're so. You know what? She was so at ease with herself.
Yeah.
At her, just the whole thing. I was like,
I feel like if I got
hottie.
that relaxed, I wouldn't be any crack.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm doing it, for the fans. But yeah, and so like that's an example. Or another one is like, especially. Well, there's one guy in particular that like I would hear quite regularly, like on podcasts, and I started listening to his podcast. A guy called Sam Harris, who is like a kind of a Dawkins Hitchensy sort of a guy,
Aye.
but also then just as a side thing is super into like meditation. And he's been he was talking about it like I think like the pitch for like the start of, I ended up downloading his app, anyway, long story short, at the start of the pandemic and tried to, it's like 5 minutes a day as well, which is what's even more upsetting about how little I have committed to it. You know what I mean? It's because like it is like
I just deleted the Headspace app off my phone to make room for this. Literally just when I was at gym, I'm just deleting the
just
apps
call
I
a
don't
spade a
use.
spade.
It's like fucking Headspace.
Who am I fooling? I feel calmer having it on the phone, just knowing that I could meditate if I needed to. But yeah, and all through the years, you know, when I've been busy, I have told myself that like the reason that I wasn't doing these things every day, it's do you know I have goals that I want to meet, not even for how I would feel, probably, and I would obviously have massive benefit on my physical and mental health, but to achieve those things. But like they're like in my head, right? For instance, when I hear people like Sam Harris talking about like meditating and like how he feels when he really when he got really good at meditating, like where he can like go in his mind, the control he has over his mind as a result of like, I always kind of just go like, I want to know what that feels like. I don't even know if I want it for like to remedy a particular problem, though I'm sure along the way I would do that also if what I've only ever heard about these things are to be believed. But like, I just,
people who are like expert meditators who have really, really committed to that
routine or whatever,
and have I don't want to say mastered it, but have got really good at it. Like
really good at meditating.
Really good at meditating. I don't want to say mastered, but really good.
Really good at meditating.
Top 4 Champions League place. Maybe not the Premier League, but
be a good one in a job interview. Like tell us some of your skills. I'm fucking class at meditating.
Watch.
I was just in 1984.
But like, some people can achieve the same or in and around the same experience as like a psilocybin experience.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Which is funny that you say, like, I'm afraid that if I was good at yoga, I would be no crack. Because that's like, my only reservation from having a proper psilocybin experience would be like, because it's like the dissolution of the ego. And I'm like, well, the ego is kind of where I actually make my living.
Yeah.
A wee bit, like, because I'm a musician and a writer. And I need that, like, and then I was like, am I telling myself I need to be slightly less happier than I am to make a living? And is that problematic?
Doesn't everyone do?
But then I was like, maybe I tell you what, I'll get these commissions, I'll get the money in the bank first, and then I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's what you end up telling yourself, isn't it? Like, you're like, you give yourself like reasons, like it, but
I'm always like, once I have my own gaff and I feel like I have my own place.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now from experience, Mick, it'll change nothing. And you'll need it more than ever. But like for the last 2 weeks, I've been telling myself, I'm going to start running tomorrow.
Me too.
What day was it that you thought it?
Are you running ahead of me and you're in the not running stage?
But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's
same,
just such a fucking, like, because I want to, because like I can go back to SBG now and I want to go back training, and I was just like, well, you know, like after like taking up smoking again for a fucking whatever length of time that was, my cardio's fucked and I would like to get some of it back before someone is also trying to hit me in the head.
Yeah. I tell you what I have stuck to though, the sea swimming.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I was out there, what day is it? Tuesday? I was out there last night.
Loving it.
Yeah, it's class. I mean, every time I'm like, I don't want to go out here. Every fucking time.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I remember Rachel saying that to me as well, yeah.
And I get to the beach and I'm like, oh, it's going to be freezing. And then you're in within 10, 15 seconds. It's fine. It's lethal. Like I hate to sound like my age, but I would recommend it to anyone.
Yeah.
I told you a mate of ours in the opera said, like, when we bumped into him in the pub. We're like, oh, we're just back from the sea swim, and he's about 7 or 8 years younger than us, and he's like, oh, you are those people in your 30s now that go swimming. And Louise's like, I've just turned 30. You're not helping the argument. If anything, you're proving his point.
And when did you start?
So that's good for the head. I enjoy that, and if I could get maybe I should probably try and do it more, but I do it at least once a week, and it's fucking it is good.
That's
one thing that I've committed to for sure.
That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, that's another one that I've told myself. I wouldn't be on it as much now, like in my head. But like whenever it comes up, like right now, I'm thinking like I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. Do you know what I mean? Like I know.
Are we dead? Are we in purgatory? Is this what's happening?
I thought the lighting would be better. It should be quite warm down here and quite sunny up there, shouldn't it? But yeah, and then like from like a physical point of view, like there's just things like, I don't know, like being able to do, like I have a pull-up bar outside my back, like between the two houses. It's one of those like tension ones, and I put it up. I had bought it 6 months before the pandemic, so it had been just standing up, useless in the next to the wardrobe. And then the pandemic happened. I was like, I'm gonna put that.
I'm gonna get the shredathon.
You know what I mean? The famous shredathon, like, and like was just like, I would like to be able to do 10 pull-ups in a row. Like, I can do like 3 in a row. I was just like, if I do this every day, like how long will it take me to stand outside? It's literally, do you know, like the gate out my back. It's in that alleyway. It's just there. I think you might have seen it before.
Do you know what you should do? Here's my pitch. Now, I've tried this and it wasn't successful for me, but I think it could work for you.
Okay.
So you have it up and you're obviously walking through that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Just
every time you pass.
Tomorrow, just do 1.
Yeah.
And then the next day do 2. And then the next day do 3.
Yeah.
And see, 100 days time, you'll have sacked it off, but you'll have got to around 20 and you'll feel pretty good about yourself. You'll be remembered. 100 days from now, you'll be remembered. Maybe that week I tried to do that and sacked it off.
Wouldn't it be amazing if that by the time this episode's come out, I'll have already have begun and given up doing pull-ups?
Well, I think right, 1 a day. Or not 1 tomorrow, 2 the following day. Let's do it. Okay. We'll get everybody behind him.
No, you won't.
Right after the go-karting.
Don't be ridiculous. Yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But just like stuff like that, and like, I don't know, I feel like even where my level of fitness was, which wasn't brilliant before the pandemic, like when Marcus started doing the Couch to 5K thing, I went out with her a few times, and like wasn't breathing hard at all, and was just like, but like I did need to like take a break once or twice, but I remember feeling like I could probably have kept running here and I would have been fine, and just going like, it would be just like not a lot just to get to 5K, like that, like just like tiny little things like that I have had a year and a half of nothing but fucking time to do and just haven't done. And I'm just like, why don't people do things that are good for them? You know what I mean? Like what is it that is just like
habits are hard.
When I was smoking every fucking cigarette, I was like, I'm going to live less long because of this. And I know that every time I light one, I'm like, this is disgusting. I hate how I feel after it. On a net fucking result, I don't enjoy doing this. But yet, every time I ran out of tobacco, I would go, like, I'd be passing the centre or something, be like, I'll smoke 120 more fags. And then that'll be the last one. You know what I mean? And like, just going like, you're not even going to miss it. Yeah. So what the fuck are you still doing this for? Like, what is the cognitive dissonance that just makes you go, yeah, but like...
Well, you see Trav and he's just like so cool when he's smoking, and you're like, I want to look that cool in his wee mesh shirt.
Yeah.
Where's Trav from?
Hollywood?
Yeah. The French Quarter. Of course, he's from Hollywood.
Hollywood. But yeah, and then like
tomorrow's a new day.
It always is, of course, yeah. But like even like whenever, like I still play that a lot. But like I remember thinking like, oh, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to like get more into the like the theory of, and like again like days upon days of going like I could spend an hour going over scales here.
I think that the whole thing is probably planning is detrimental. I think and yeah, I think trying to be more present in your actual moment will probably yield better short-term results, which will then yield better long-term results.
That's what it said on the one mindfulness episode that I listened to.
But like that's what they're always shouting on about, and I'm like, I'm fucking in the present. Fuck up! You're taking me out of the present by insisting that I be in it.
My favorite thing about meditation apps is they're just like, and listen, just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just concentrate on the sensation of the air hitting your nose. And try notice something about the feeling of an exhalation that you've never noticed before. And every time you feel your mind wander, just come back to the sensation of the air going in and out of your mouth. I'm going to leave you for 5 minutes now to do that. And you're like, cool, like 30 seconds. And he's like, sorry, I just left my keys in here. There's always just some wee interruption. He's just like, you're like, I'm going. Oh fuck! And like you can feel yourself starting to levitate. And you're like, this is amazing. And then just some cunt goes in and out. And you're like, oh, but for fuck's sake! I nearly forgot you were here.
The Headspace app, the guy was like, just imagine your thoughts are just, it's like traffic. Your thoughts are just traffic, just passing by you, Yeah. Just let them, when their thoughts come, feel them, experience them, let them move on, just traffic on. I was like, no, I'm fucking standing at the side of a dual carriageway of my own brain, watching all these stupid thoughts just zip by. That's very stressful. Trying to thumb a lift with one.
Trying to thumb a lift with one of them. That's a great image. Like ideas. That's great. But yeah, I think it's such a fascinating. And like now that I'm off the fags 3 weeks, I'm just like, I could have done this ages ago. Like, why did I not do this ages ago? What a dumb fucking thing to be doing. Like,
I think that about other shit, about things like shit that I wanted to do, just like work wise and stuff that I was always insecure about, or just kind of self-doubting about it. I was like, why do you waste so much fucking time? One, really, nobody actually fucking cares.
Yeah.
The only person who cares here is you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you waste so much time second guessing, especially when you're a wee bit younger.
Yeah.
Like, I spent so long trying to depict myself as a cool musician, because I thought those are the beats you have to hit in your photos, in your how you interact with people.
Yeah.
And I wasted about fucking 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, you know what, fuck this. I'm not cool, like, and I don't have the, like, this an air of mystery about me. Look at me, like, who was I trying to fool?
Yeah,
like?
yeah.
He's so cool and mysterious.
Thanks so much. You're all deadly and all. Sunglasses.
But like, it took me a long time to try and get comfortable just going, this is the way I want to do it, and I still struggle with that. I don't know how we get on to this.
That's okay. Yeah, no, I just it's amazing the amount of your life you waste just trying to get round to doing things.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like,
yeah.
You look back and you go like the amount of times that I've had like things to do even in the house, like, and I've been in there my own. And this was one thing that like smoking was a killer for as well, because like I'd know I have to do something and be like this crack that I've been, like, this problems that I've been having with my hard drive recently, where like I kept running out of room. Like, I have like 3 backups on my computer on my main hard drive that are both like that are all about like fucking 700 gig each. They're like full backups, and like, but they're from 2014. Like, I don't need anything on there, but I need to go through it just to get rid of some shit. And I've been putting that off probably since 2016. Do you know what I mean? And the amount of times that like I'm doing it now, and it's annoying because as I'm doing it, I'm just like, I could have done this ages ago, and I wouldn't have to be doing it right fucking now at 4 a.m. so that 4 people can watch this. Do you know what I mean? But here I am. But do you know what I mean? And like, and it just, but then like I would wake up, I'd be like, right, I have to walk the dogs, do all that shit, get all that out of the way, whatever. And they're fucking lying tired, and I'm like, right, cool, I could do some work now, class. And then be like, well, let's take the kettle on.
Do you know what I find?
And then just going like, oh, I need to look that up actually. And just like, I'll roll a fag and I'll go out and stand outside and do nothing out there for half an hour.
I find having just like, I know obviously people are going to say no because watches have existed for fucking ages, but I find have the habit of having your phone on you and checking the time. That's a habit I'm trying to break, because I'm always measuring things about what I need to do today. Right, what time is it? What I need to do today? Need to get the dog walk, need to get home, need to get to the office, need to do this, that, and the other. And you look at it in hour blocks, and I think that just ruins the day. It whittles, it takes you out of to fucking paraphrase the fucking content wankers over at Headspace. It takes you out of the moment of being, it takes you out of the present, because you're like
content wankers over at Headspace. Well, I guess I'll give the meditation a miss, Mick. I don't want to be drawing this feeling on me.
Not that they were ever going to sponsor us anyway. But,
I just mean, I guess I'm not going to delve into my journey of my mind and have you going, look at him there, the big fucking enlightened cunt.
If you do it without drugs, I just think you're fucking holier than thou.
Too good for speed, is it?
Here, speaking of drugs, have you seen the Mccollum documentary, and do you know who that is?
Nope.
Do you remember...
And I have not seen the documentary.
It was a girl from Pomeroy, which is a fucking tiny, tiny village. Or is it Auchnacoy she's from? Anyway, somewhere in very rural Tyrone.
Imagine if you were just some shithole.
Near the border, anyway. And she was... about in 2013, as a 20-year-old, first time leaving the country, she went to Ibiza to just work out in Ibiza. She was a club dancer and I worked in the bars and stuff. And within the space of a few months, she was in a Peruvian prison for coke smuggling.
One of these banged up abroad stories.
It was two young girls, about 20. Do you not remember the top? She's the real famous Top Knot.
No.
Bun.
No.
The Updo or whatever it's called.
No.
I don't know.
What's up, dude?
I don't know what's up with you.
I'm upset for
Have
it.
you not seen it? Do you not know who I'm talking about?
I feel like I do. I feel like I saw it on an episode of Banged Up Abroad or something.
She was only 20 odd, and her first time out of Ireland was Ibiza, and then next thing she was essentially just got fucking swept up in this scene and was racking lines they were going out of fashion, and found herself on a fucking plane to Lima, which is in Peru. She was like, I thought Lima was in Spain, and I was like, I can't really judge her for that because I didn't know where the fuck Lima was. Someone had told me I was on a flight to Lima, but sound. But they got there, and they were essentially just used as decoys. So what the cartels do is they're fucking shipping coke through the airports it's nobody's business. It's real. So all the time they'll drop
their business.
It's their business. They'll drop the cops so we kind of. There you go. They'll give them a heads up. There's two girls coming here with what's probably a huge amount of coke, but in the grand scheme of the amount they're shipping, they can afford to lose it. It's just a write off. So they get nabbed on the way in the airport.
So that fucking probably, I don't know, 3 other lads get through security.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. So fucking 20 years old, young girl from Pomeroy in a Peruvian prison.
Fucking hell, man.
It's a fucking lethal documentary. You should definitely watch it. It's on iPlayer.
Okay.
Because it's a mad story. Because I thought I knew all the crap. I remember...
You say it was her and her mate got arrested?
Her and this girl she barely knew.
And so is that girl in the prison too?
They're both out now.
They're both out now?
Yeah.
Okay, spoilers, but...
They're both... Well, she's been out for years now, but it's a fucking really great story. Because at the time, I remember thinking, I just remember thinking somebody got in... snorted a load of everyone else's coke and racked up a load of debt and thought this was the way to clear it. That was my initial fucking take on it. And then when she got out, I was like, oh aye, the fucking the wee young Irish girl gets out. If that had been anybody, any others, they'd have been still kind of slammed in the slammer, as they said. But the fucking I came away from it completely. I can see completely how she got sucked into that, and the story of how she kind of just works. Her time in prison and how she got out, it's fucking really good.
So did she serve the entire amount of time?
No, she got out. She fucking you can work in a Peruvian prison. You can work in there.
Like American prison then?
Yeah, I guess.
But for free in America.
Yep, sorry.
Like Walmart use them to pack all their stuff, and Costco...
License plates as well.
Costco use them. They don't pay them, but they use them to do all their labour as well. Lots of other really, really mad. I don't think they do it anymore because people told people about it and they were like, oh, no. Sorry, carry on.
It's like repackaged slavery, essentially.
Yeah. Watch the 13th on Netflix.
I've heard. Someone, Fergal was telling me to watch that as well.
You should.
But the documentary's a laugh because she both is interviewed in it as a talking head and narrates it. But the narration and the talking head sound like two different people because
Obviously, there was like a producer in the room.
yeah, who is clearly kind of writing it. Like what happened is obviously she's told the story and then they've kind of written the script for her to deliver.
Yeah.
And the interview, but during the talking head bit, she's proper to her own. Like I just didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like she's telling the story where this
Did
like
she learn
Peruvian
Peruvian?
solicitor came in and essentially it's like I can get you out of here, but you have to marry me and come and live with me. And she said no, and he started getting really aggressive. Going, I'm gonna make sure you never leave this prison, and you're gonna rot in here for the rest of your life. And she's like, and I just thought this guy's been a bit of a dick. So she gets on, but the narration's all like it's all kind of stylishly kind of shot and
Okay.
and it's like a picture of Mccollum. She's like, that's me. I bet you're wondering how a 20-year-old girl from rural Northern Ireland ended up in Peruvian prison. I hadn't a clue what the fuck was going on. That's why she's talking essentially for the whole narration, and then when it gets to her talking ahead, she's just pure like, I was fucking mental, like like pure
Yeah.
the natural fucking.
Yeah.
It's wild, disorientating.
Yeah.
It's really the whole thing is a wild laugh because of the fucking just the dissonance between the deliveries.
Yeah.
It's fucking all over this, but it's definitely worth.
I
to
must
watch,
check
like.
it out. Yeah. I do love one. I do love a good crime doc now. Sort of a thing. That's such an unfortunate thing to happen to. I mean, it must be happening all over the world. I suppose.
It's mad because they flew them out and everything, and then they get them to spend like 10 days out there,
Yeah.
and they send them all around the tour. They essentially give them like a package holiday.
Yeah.
On the like only you don't pay for it. You just have to bring some coke back with you,
Up your hole.
or get caught smuggling it.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. No. It's well, how much money would you have to be offered to just a wee bag of coke just up the snout? going through through airport.
What is the snout in this? Is it, are you up the nose? Is that, you snort it before you get in?
Just try to get it back
You
out.
get the brief wrong. I didn't understand the assignment. I took it all.
Your handlers ahead of you in the security queue, and they fucking take you back, and your man's sweating and all, and then they fucking get you back out, and he's like, "How did you get away with that?" And you're like, "I put it all up my nose." He's like, "What?
You want to go to the strip club?
They'll never check that." Just a fucking ball of coke just jammed into your sinuses. Yeah, that's some fucking scary shit, man. The podcast that I was listening to recently, the host said he got an Uber. There was a Mexican guy driving the Uber, and they started talking. Your man was saying he was living there because, like, basically his friend's dad or something had a truck and the cartels stole it, but he didn't know who stole it. He just knew that his truck went missing, and then one day it was like a trailer, sorry. And then the next day, like not the next day, but a couple of days later, he's driving past and he sees his trailer again, and he's like, "Oh, there's my trailer," and fucking hitches it back up, takes it back. Well, the cartel go, "Oh, you don't take back your things," and round him and all his mates up and kill all his friends in front of him, and for some reason don't kill him. And he's apparently in the middle of the story. And he gets to the place he's dropping him off. He's like, "Anyway, this is you, man." He's like, "Let go around the block a few times." He's like, "You can't just leave it there."
Do you want to see the trailer? I mean, in fairness, it's a pretty nice trailer.
It's got suspension.
I actually used to cart the bodies of my dead friends over to the graveyard.
It sounds like another world over there. I started watching Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown on Netflix. It's
Funny, Tony said the same thing to me this morning.
They recently put it up there, and it's a travel show that I've heard for years. Is one of the if you're planning on, because I was thinking about Waltz World from a couple of weeks ago. The boys telling us not to drive on the wrong side of the road in Ireland and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I mean, if I'm going to watch a travel show, I might as well watch a good one and not just go in bad faith to hate other ones. You know what I mean? But it's a fucking class show.
The travel man, Richard Ayoade.
Oh yeah.
It's a great travel show.
He's a good lad.
Yeah, he brings along like a comedian actor friend with him
Amazing.
in different city breaks.
I'm already in.
Shut up. Stop wasting time. You've convinced me.
But yeah, Would you like to do a travel show? Do you think
I would love to do a travel show.
My mum was friends with
Eating my way around Europe with Muck.
My mum, when she worked in a call center years ago, there was one of the lads that worked like there that just him and his mate ended up like selling a show to Channel 4 and ended up just traveling the world and
Mighty.
way to go. Like,
We should do that.
yeah, do you know what Channel 4 are crying out for these days? 2 more white fellas. Get you around to somewhere that you don't look the same and be blown away by the noodles, please.
Here's an absolute fortune to do it.
yeah, exactly.
What do you mean you can't ride a motorbike? Ewan McGregor can ride a motorbike.
Oh man, one of my favorite ever, like before and after moments. I'll not go into too much details, but you remember before our first Sunflower gig,
Yes.
and there was lads there to see you from like a company.
Yes.
That,
Yeah.
and I remember
They were actually there to see. Well, I think they were there to see us.
well worse, but I remember I was setting up.
So there's just I can.
Okay, yeah,
there was two TV producers there at me and Nathan's first live show,
Yes,
just to suss it out
But-
because
but-
I'd been working with one.
yeah, and so that was the first I'd heard of it.
Yeah. I don't think I
Yeah, because you'd had like a meeting that day, and you were like, "Well, I told him we were doing this thing." So I was setting up like the equipment and stuff, and you were doing your normal pre-gig ritual of just panic, mostly pacing. Is there anything I could be doing? I'm like, well, probably, but it's okay. but and then you said, "There's these boys from wherever the fuck they were from. I can't even remember." And you'd had a meeting that day. It's probably around the time of the Ulcerans or something that was coming out, or had been out, and we were doing that first gig in the Sunflower, and you were like, these lads are they're here to like check the podcast out, like, and I was like, oh right, fuck, like why? And you were like, I don't know, but like, you know, I had a meeting that they just kind of wanted. I told them this is like another thing that I'm doing, and I don't know, like. I mean, they work in like TV or something, whatever it was you were saying, and I was just like, "My fucking class." I was like, "That's fucking seems like this is all moving so fast." I'm not ready to be Ant and Deck. but and I remember like doing.
I'm not ready to be Ant and Deck.
But I remember doing the show, and then like, you know, we did like. we had a great time doing it, got really drunk, got home, you know, a couple of days, get the car back, you know, all that shit that we had to do afterwards, edit the episode, blah, blah, blah. And then
We actually filmed that episode.
we did actually, which I wouldn't know what to do with now.
Yeah, I'll send you over the footage.
Yeah, send it to me. That'd be cool.
Let's do that.
And I don't know, a week later, it just dawned on me that we'd had that conversation. It was so brief before and it obviously went straight out of our minds, like once we started doing the show, because we're professionals in the moment.
In the moment, like.
And I was just like, hey, did anything ever come of those lads that came to the podcast? And you were just like, yeah, they weren't interested.
Yeah, Nathan. Yeah, fucking.
They did. I think they
Scratch
left.
that. Scratch that. Yep. Yeah. Let's just not talk about that again. Like, they got their money back. They didn't even pay in the first place, and they took money back. I actually think I seen one of them do that on his way out.
That'd be fucking so rude.
I think from what I remember, that they said it was a bit loose and unstructured.
There they describe perfectly what they saw.
I mean, it was. Yeah, I would love to do another live show.
Oh,
But we'd
man.
have to definitely bring back some sort of structure to the.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, I think that having like the YouTube channel now as well is making me want to do some more kind of just for YouTube stuff.
Yeah, me
And
too, yeah.
I think, and there's loads of stuff we could be doing that I think works better there as well. Also, last week or an hour ago, if you're here now, when we were recording the previous episode, we remember that we have been forgetting to say to that you can watch the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are, so here's what we worked out in between this episode and last week's episode is that what we're going to do from this week going forward. So this will be the first time. All of the video episodes. So every episode you'll be able to watch on YouTube now.
Yeah.
But if you subscribe to the Patreon, you get the audio and the video a day sooner. So now the release day will be Patreon first on Thursday and then everybody else on Friday. You can sign up to the Patreon for any amount of money.
Yeah. And remember, the Wonderwall thing is still in play.
It's still nowhere near happening. So, but yes, I think what are we, like 80 something or whatever people I think is. Yeah. So we're getting there. Like there's not that many people left to go to get to the 100. But yeah, you can sign up for any amount of money, and it really goes a long way.
It's got pretty much everything that we're using here now over the course of the.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's that extra bit of incentive, certainly for me anyway, to like just fucking whenever like I'm trying to figure out how to fucking do all this shit.
Well, the more as well, it gives you more space. Gives you more space to like just.
It's an easier justification to be
to spend more time on it. Yeah, and also the more time we spend on it, the better it's going to get. Who knows? We may even start talking about something again.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so
holding our content ransom here. Well, you want some content? Yeah, you got to pay. And then we might maybe structure a story.
I would like to. And I think like kind of filming them and stuff now like will make it make a lot of those things make a bit more sense too. So it's been class. Thank you to everybody that has been already subscribing to the Patreon.
Tell us what you'd like to see.
Yeah, tell us.
Chat to us.
Can I say as well?
Stop making us scream into the void.
Can I say as well?
You said it twice.
Can I say also? A couple of weeks ago, and we didn't make a huge fuss about it, but no one else did either. I put up what I thought was solid, golden content.
Which was?
Into our Patreon. One day, I was like, I've been talking about this long enough now.
The song, the demo.
I'm going to stick it up. 11-year-old me. I thought I better not look out the window in case the world's on fire.
Hey, there was people did respond to that. I was reading that.
I just thought that more people would have signed up to see it. No one gave a fuck. No one gave a single enough of a fuck to even sign up for. You can actually sign up for 10p a month. There wasn't even enough morbid curiosity about what I might have sounded like when I was 11.
And he sounds really good. It's really impressive.
No one cared.
Word weary for a 12-year-old, but still pretty good. Like
fuck.
no one gave a fuck. That's why he sounded so word weary. No one gave a fuck then.
And therein has been the general. I remember just like I was reading, I was like, I thought maybe there might have been like a couple of new ones, like somebody might have wanted to hear.
It's really hard to find. It's really hard to figure out the best way to engage with people because a lot you can get visibility on them all, but it's all scattered out all over these shit platforms that we all have ingratiated into our lives and we're forced to use.
I was doing like a real troll the other night. More thinking about like just my own stuff. Sorry, just like I'm in the middle of like working out like I've got a big Excel sheet for just planning out releases like months out. And I have like a run up that I'm trying to plan and all this kind of stuff. And like apparently like so like Facebook, if this couple of posts that I cross-referenced all seem to say roughly the same thing, that like they'll only really, really, really show like a post say you have 1,000 followers. Like it'll only maybe show it to like even close to 1,000 of them if you post something like 5 times a day. Let like, who the fuck can do that?
Also, imagine going on saying fucking.
Wouldn't
us
that be
five
fucking
here from us 5 times a day? On Facebook.
horrendously annoying? Like, I can't imagine. Like, that's
And it's mad because that also shows what a part of the problem with Facebook is. It rewards that rewarding constant activity on the platform, which is also algorithmically skewed towards the rage and click throughs and misinformation is right. I've fucking sadly a couple of people I know have kind of fallen victim to the just the plethora of fucking misinformation that is available, and people just, well, it was a nurse said it. Apparently, it says here this was coming from a nurse. Apparently a nurse said this, and I've just copied and pasted.
Yeah.
So it just shows you like that the reward system that it's geared towards that, because more people are going to go on it if they're angry. Nobody, if you're happy, you're not going to be on Facebook really for the.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
But that's, I mean, it's not just Facebook.
And they're all like that though. Essentially, it's like some version of that. You know, it's like, and the optimum thing for Instagram is like fucking 15 hashtags on fucking 4 posts a day. You know, and you're like, what does that mean? Like, what sort of nonsense would you have to be putting out to have something to say 4 times a day to be fucking like, and like that's like a circle that I have. Because I mean, like, you know, that's not shocking to either of us. Like, we've all heard some version of that for years. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what we're aware we're dealing with. But like, that's always been a kind of a thing that I feel has really like just like knocked my confidence for like what to do with my social media for my music and stuff for years. Because it's kind of like you get into a habit of like, say, posting content for like even like a week or something, and like, you know, like I have like 2,500 followers on Facebook, but like most of my posts reach, it says, is like 30 people, but it's because I don't fucking
pay up.
Either pay up or also I don't like post often enough. And then I'm just going like, but then the people that I see posting like 4 and 5 times a day do my fucking head in. I'm just like, I don't want to be that either. It's just like, so like, what the fuck do you do? Like, do I put up like the first 10 seconds of what I'm about to say in increments throughout the day? And just be like, check back in for the rest of the sentence.
Big sentence dropping at 5 p.m. tomorrow. The big announcement. That's the big announcement tomorrow.
Watch this space.
Watch this space. Big announcement.
Yeah.
Announcing the announcement.
Is there anything more a sign of just the state of being a creative career person of any sort, than just like sadly resigning yourself to the things that you know work? You know, just kind of going like, when you see like big announcement and like the certain way of setting up the post, and there's like that are eye catching and they work and they're effective, and you know they're being done by someone who wants the same thing as you do, and they're nice people, and fucking more power to them as well. Like, I'm no judgment, but is there anything more just indicative of like how fucking hard it is to be your own person? Yeah, doing these things that we do, when really only one thing works, and that's just to be a fucking pain in the hole.
Or loaded.
Yeah. So Patreon. You can sign up. We got a lot of doctors.
We do have a lot of doctors.
A lot of doctors.
We're frontline workers.